friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
In the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
In the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
In the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. start already. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias and at the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we are here with cats already on the screen and blinking in and out of screen. Dave Potter is here in the pod cave with Kitty Cat.
Yes, Rosie is here with me to help me do the technology.
Yes, Tech Cat Wintow. And also in studio, Katie Dudas is with us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I went to use your bathroom at the studio, and there was a Roomba watching me use the restroom.
Now, I did not put googly eyes on the thing, so let's make this clear. Yet. So,
Why was your Roomba in the bathroom?
The Roomba tends to find itself in the bathroom and then closes the door on itself. And we haven't remedied this entirely because it doesn't exactly run on the schedule that we've set it for anymore. And we just discovered that, it's run. Okay. And we walk in and the door is closed and we're like, it's Flortista in the bathroom again, and we're like, yeah, okay, all right. So then I just decided I'm just gonna leave it there. That was probably it was sometime over the weekend this happened this time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it. Just definitely gonna leave it. Yep. So
blame you.
sorry about that. Sorry you had an intruder in the bathroom. You had a peeping Roomba, if you will. Show title. So if you should, I just need to say now that I pump all the transcripts through ChatGPT, I just have to ask AI, say, what was the show title that I said during the show?
Oh.
Right? So, anyways. And now it knows. And now it knows I'm talking about it. So, let's get into our... That's right. And let's get started with, just because I don't know what he's going to be bringing to the table because I haven't looked at the doc yet. Dave Ponder, what do you got?
So what I have, similar to last week, it's something that I needed to get.
Okay.
The
more household items?
More household items, but this is something that multiple people might need because we are entering the cold months of the year, and some people need a little extra heat. So you have a little issue that way. I need a little extra heat because my furnace died last night.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, crud.
We're having someone come over tomorrow to look at it and see if they can fix it, and if they can't fix it, how many thousands?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So right now we already had one space heater, but we needed something on both floors. So this is where next day delivery doesn't work out.
No.
Because I need it now. So I did a quick search of, space heaters in the area, the different stores. And the one, because hopefully we won't need it extensively for a long time. It's only going to be, for a day or two. I picked a nice little unit I was able to pick up at Sam's Club.
Nice.
And one thing I like about this is that, hold on. Okay. One thing I like about it, it rotates both horizontal and vertical, and it can do both. So you get a nice little movement of air going. It has a couple different heat settings. And if you just want to have it on automatic, you can just select a temperature. And once it hits that, it'll turn off. And it's compact. It's not that big. So, and I got home, plugged it in, of course, tried it, and the heat, you could feel the heat very quickly. And I've had, and we have at home one of these ceramic heaters that just puts out heat but doesn't have airflow attached to it, just kind of radiates the heat out.
Yeah.
And they're great if you have time and you just want to slowly warm up a room. They work great that way. But they take a while to actually heat up, and if you're too far away, you don't feel the heat.
Right.
So this is why I wanted to find something that, and it would, like I said, it's nice, compact. It's actually cool enough where you can put it on a desk and just have now the one thing is that the fan is a single speed fan, but it's relatively low. It's not loud. It isn't like you're hearing, a large fan blowing on you. So it works out pretty good that way.
So this is the Lasco Whirlwind Heat Orbital Oscillation Ceramic Space Heater with remote. It's $44.98 over on Sam's Club. Now, I had kind of a similar situation. Thankfully, my very old, very large heater has not gone yet, knock on wood. As a watch, this will be the year the way things are going. But we had our gas line knocked out because they were fixing a gas line and then told us they couldn't reconnect to ours. And it was it was the on property part and we were responsible for it. Probably it has been replaced in like 50 years and it was incompatible. So we went like a good month without heat and water heat and stuff like that. So we had purchased like those kind of I think those tall radiator ones that you're talking about. We purchased like 5 of those. Make sure there's a couple in the basement so we weren't freezing pipes, things like that, right? So that's the biggest. Thankfully, it's not getting cold for a couple of days, and hopefully you get a resolution pretty soon with that, because that's the biggest thing you have to watch out for, right?
Yeah. And one thing is with our house, the basement's a living area, so the pipes kind of go right in there.
Yeah.
So we don't have it goes like from ground right inside. So there's not like a large area where you have to hopefully worry about pipes freezing.
Yeah. So it's a livable area. So you have some flow probably going on there, right? Whereas in our basement, we used to have the studio down there and stuff, but not so much anymore. It's more storage. So there you go. Well, I hope you get that worked out. But I'm glad you got that quick. And that's where I think it is good to look at your like Instacart Plus, and your Walmart Plus and things like that if you have those available for like the quick deliveries. If you need that, because sometimes these happen, you don't have time to go anywhere, right? Because your responsibilities there, you're just like, you're in the middle of your day. So, or you got kids or something and, and you can't get out with it. So no, that's good. Well, so that's a nice cheap option. I think that's a relatively what we were paying for our, full radiators as well. So very handy. Katie, you have something functional for the home as well.
Yes, I'm all about the home.
Yes, because you're literally homemaking right now with the new house.
Figuring stuff out. But these are something, I've had these for a minute, and they're 13-inch storage bins. I do have this cube set up where you can put these bins in there. And what had happened with my bins is a lot of my clothes, I'm very much a person out of sight, out of mind. Like, it doesn't exist. And then I'm looking for things. I can't find things right away. So I started organizing certain things into these bins. And, like, my jeans live in one. My pajama tops are in one. And my pajama bottoms are another. Not folded. So, like, that takes away the time and the stress of having to worry about folding. Because that's
and it's only a couple of them, so it's not a big deal if they're not folded. Right?
Yeah. Like, I own a couple pajamas. I have so many cat and Hello Kitty pajamas.
Well, there's that.
But so that's like a block for me is folding clothes. So just being able to throw them in there and go, okay, here's the top. Okay, other bin, here's the bottom. And recently we've been going to the gym all the time now, and I have a gym bin. And this is where, at the end of the week, my laundry and then the same exact pair of shorts that are after they get a bath are go in this bin, the same pair of gym socks, like everything that I've pulled to specifically for the gym lives in this pop-up bin. So I've started, it's like one less thing to think about. I just grab it out of there. I don't have to look for it. So I've really liked this, like, none of it is folded in the gym bin either, because it's just gonna get pulled out and worn.
A nice grab and go.
So I found this has been very helpful for me.
So for the audio, for the visual here. So these are the Sorbus 13-inch storage bins with a clear window. So it's like you got a little kind of like drawer handle at the top, and then it is like clear. Is that like a plastic that's on there? Or?
Yep. It's a clear window, which is nice. Like, again, things disappear if they're not right in front of me. And so I can easily figure out what's in what bin. These were a little bit oversized. They come in you have to get the oversized cube set up if you have one of those cube thingies. But I do like it. They're foldable, collapsible, and I've really enjoyed. It's made my life easier, and it's taken away a couple barriers. Like I said, the folding and the searching.
It reminds me of. I feel like you're physically doing a thing that an old book, the Getting Things Done book, told me to do, like intellectually, was put things in buckets. You're kind of putting your life in these boxes so that they're easy to like, oh, this goes here, I don't have to think about it.
Yep.
So I like that. I like that process.
Less thinking, please, and thank you.
Absolutely. You're talking about storage, and I started thinking about storage, about how that could be improved with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, bins of things in a basement. And I would love if there was a way to tag each one of those bins, because you're always like, where did I put the bin with the Christmas ornaments or this, or maybe my old He-Man toys? And you have to go through like an entire pile to find them. I love there was like a tagging system that would last for a while, because you're not going down there for another 5 years, So, I don't know. Maybe it's not Apple tags. We know that's not the answer, but
I know there was a, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this, but you had the ability to print QR codes and have them connected to a specific thing. So if you were scanning it and you're like, "Prr."
So like the what's that the tags that Apple tags kind of replaced? Tiles.
Yeah.
So you think like that kind of thing? Like at least it would come up with information, I guess.
Yeah. So if you have it on there and you just go scan and you're like, "Burp."
Yeah.
But I think there was a program that.
Yeah, you could just make those, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So then you just say, hey, this goes here, and we have it in pile A or something like that in the basement,
Bin A, bin B.
That could be good.
I wonder if you could do something in AI now. Take a
Mm.
picture of the box,
Mm-hmm.
describe it, and then make a notebook or like a project that's just like organization.
That could be fun.
Then you can ask it, where's my He-Man
Mm-hmm.
figurines? Oh, I found it in box 1 type thing.
Figurines, they're action figures, sir.
Action figures. I'm sorry.
Yes. So posable action figures.
Definitely not dolls.
Not
we
dolls.
did not catch you
Definitely
playing
not
with your dolls, Lord Helmet.
No. It's the only reason I don't have She-Ra's, because they were like explicitly dolls, I think, right? If I recall. No? I'm getting I get it.
What makes them different?
What?
Why is She-Ra a doll? And
I think
He-Man
because they had real hair.
Is that what makes it?
But then again, so did like Grizzlor from the Horde. So I don't. That's actually not a qualification, is it? So there was more pink on the packaging, I suppose. So, anyways, were there any bad guys in that line for the She-Ra line? Because the Horde guys were all under the He-Man. But now we're going down a rat hole. I know. So because they were definitely presented differently, right? So, anyways. So my awesome thing is it finally arrived. My Tele TV came, guys, after so many years. So this is the, just a review, this is the TV that you would sign up for, and it's going to run ads. It's got an extra screen at the bottom, and it's going to run ads in the corner. And this is a house for scale as far as the box that came in here. You can see there's only 3 steps there, so you get the idea with my house. This was so a guy in a truck dropped it off. Although I gotta say I was really confused because I thought I selected the pickup, and I was waiting for my notice 24 hours before, never got one, and then got my tracking when I looked at the website that it would be there. I'm glad I started looking at that. So delivery communication leaves a little bit to be desired with these guys. This guy had a truck, a rider truck, and he had probably like 10 of them still in there and had been delivering most of the afternoon. It was funny because he was talking about how he submitted for one of these TVs and hasn't officially gotten his own yet. And I was like, dude, I signed up when they started and finally got it here. And even they said I was going to have it like a month ago, I think, right? So with that, I was official on it. So it's, and again, just to qualify, I have not bought a new TV since well over 10 years. I still have Vizios that don't have smart TV in them. Which is kind of nice. So this is kind of fun to set up a little bit. It does come with an Android TV. It's just a Homedics 4K streaming stick Android TV with Google TV kind of thing. It's fine. It feels slow. I do have the Google TV, the Chromecast with Google TV, which I think is now discontinued, and tried it next to it, and it's definitely speedier than this new one. So I actually don't recommend sticking with their Android TV. Hopefully you have an Apple TV or something to go with, and I would actually pick that well over this. Now, so there's some reasons why you might want to use their Android TV or like another one, I suppose. Here's a little bit of imagery of the setup and everything. It's cool. The lower screen kind of gives you a little bit of your updates as you're downloading the TeleOS updates. Again, this is not a full-on smart TV, as in your apps aren't like, you don't have Netflix or YouTube on the TV itself. You do need a secondary thing. And you see there's backlighting to this too. You can change the color of that too. It's not reactive to the TV. It's just a little bit of mood lighting. So we just have it glowing like blue or purple most of the time. This is what it kind of looks like when it gets set up here. The first thing I put on was Across the Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse movie, and it was in my Apple TV. It's in my library, so it's full 4K. It was gorgeous. And then you can see there's a little ad in the corner, and then I actually since took off all the news that would pop up down here. You'll get your weather updates. There's a photo thing, and I had the ad out there for a while. So, and also as you're watching things, especially through the Apple TV, it will detect what you're watching and start pop up information about like who the actors and actresses are in that thing. Bob's Burgers, they kept popping up like all the Christian Shaw and everybody, but it just says like various actors. There's a Weird Al ad that popped up. I had to get because Katie was just talking to me about Weird Al. I think maybe even that day when it came up. Nice. So that was one of the video ads that popped up during that. So that gives you kind of an idea there. So it's a nice TV. The first my first 4K TV, so everything kind of sticks out. Had to tinker with it a little bit. The blacks were really crushing and everything. Then I made it too black and I did the mean thing. I set it up on Wednesday. Sat with Missy and watched some AEW on Wednesday night. Left for Seattle on Thursday. So she was left with the thing to figure it out. So you can't, I don't know, do you guys have, with Apple TVs or anything, do you have if you hit a button on the Apple TV, it'll wake up the TV and go directly to the device, right? I don't know if a lot of people experience that, but like on my TVs, they're pretty good about that. Or you hit the Xbox button and it'll wake up a TV and go directly to the Xbox, like whatever that input is. You don't have that option on this. We talked about it in the past. You're going to get this tele TV thing when you open the thing, and then you have to like select something and go to it. It does detect your favorites at the bottom when you kind of press up. The controller actually has a screen button, so you can tell it which screen you're actually interacting with. So you can fiddle through the bottom screen while you're watching something on your Apple TV up top, and it's not going to bother with it. Specifically, your inputs, the games. You can play Flappy Birds on the lower screen while you're watching TV. There's only a couple of games on there. There's like 2 motion games. There's like there's some motion games on there, like Wii games. We haven't played with them yet. Just haven't had the time to since I was traveling this week. But the reason it has a motion sensor, of course, is to detect that you're sitting there watching it, because it is sending what you're watching. Because if you're getting information in that bottom screen, it's sending it back to tell you that you're watching Bob's Burgers, Across the Spider-Verse, Pluribus, whatever we were watching this week, right? Because that's part of the deal. That's why you're getting this free. Plus, the ad's always running in the corner. You can kind of tell when it's just like going into telly's screens and stuff like that. Like maybe it ran through that stock of ads. I'm definitely getting PSAs. I'm getting some stuff for carefortheculture.com, for instance, right now, which is interesting, and I don't know how it hit my demographic. Maybe just because I live in a city, I suppose. I did figure out a little bit of an ad blocker that I did see on TikTok, so that's taken care of. So if the ads get annoying, thankfully the boxes fit it almost entirely. So, but if you got some books or something like that, but honestly, they don't bug too much. We did say that this is really good if you have ADHD. Because there's always something going on, especially if you leave a lot of the news items on. So the problem was I had it on tech. I killed all the sports. The sports scores will pop up there. The weather is always getting updated. But then I had it in the tech, and I was still getting things about politics and the Epstein files in the tech stuff because it has The Verge, and The Verge has gone kind of that direction with things lately. So, regardless of being a tech news or not. So that's worked out pretty good. I think we've tuned it pretty good that it's not annoying. It's still delivering what's supposed to deliver, that we can keep the thing for free. So, and of course, not everything's 4K. The Apple stuff looks great on there. But you got to pay more for Disney and Netflix and HBO to get the 4K, which we are not. And I don't expect to do that anytime soon. But everything's looked great that's on there. Like I'm kind of kicking myself thinking like, man, maybe I need to bring the Xbox back down to the living room to plug into the better TV. So, but we'll see. I don't have a 4K Xbox. I have I think it was like 2K or something like that, which still would look better than the HD, I suppose, upstairs. So, yeah, and the sound bar is very good on this thing. It has kind of a fake surround sound to it. We haven't gone like a full-on movie with the sound up to really kind of dig into it, but watching like some good series like the Pluribus one, because Apple TV does everything pretty high-end. Most of that stuff's done in Dolby 4K and things like that. It's pretty pristine television, and I'm pretty sure the 4K is included with Apple TV without an upgrade. So I'll have to investigate that, but I haven't seen anywhere where you can upgrade for 4K. So I feel like they would advertise it more, because I feel like a lot of people have 4K TVs these days, right? I would think, but it is what it is. So I would say if you're okay with the peculiarness of having a screen in the corner that's going to be showing you ads and the bit of privacy that you're going to give up for this thing, I think it's a pretty good deal for something like this. I mean, to me, I'm kind of just generally curious about it. To see where it goes. And one of the first things I said to Missy is, what I'm really interested in? What's going to happen to this thing if this company goes out of business? Does my TV get bricked, or will it just move on as a TV and maybe the ads kind of go away or something, right? So the webcam we have not worked with. It is hidden. It is physically hidden. Like it rotates basically into the device. So we have not even seen the lens yet to play with that. Zoom is built in. If you use that, there's a fitness app built in. There's music apps, things like that. If you use the Android TV, the apps will actually show up in your favorites across the bottom. So if you would click on Netflix, it would go automatically to the Android TV and start loading that. So it does do that, a little bit of communication with you. But again, going to Apple TV, you do not have that option. So you're going to be, which honestly kind of cleans it up a little bit. And then it's going to see the For You and know that the first thing in there is always going to be the Apple TV. If the first thing you do is always go to Apple TV, so you're not going to have to worry about it being buried in your settings. And the settings just pop up. You hit up on it, and it comes across the top of the bottom bar there. So that's a Tele TV. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm not putting it on top of my fireplace. It's a little wide for that. The base is a little wider, and I don't trust my walls to mount any TVs. So I have lost my coffee table. It barely fits on the coffee table. I got like a half an inch to spare on this thing. But no, it's worked out pretty well so far. We're almost a week into it. I'm excited to be kind of home for the weekend, mostly for the holiday, and get some more use out of this thing and kind of get used to it and see if there's any other quirks. We did have a time where Missy went to watch TV and it ran an update. So that was inconvenient. But I mean, honestly, like I've had the same problem with Fire TVs, like that are built into ones like what we have here in the studio and stuff like that. So there you go. That is the Tele TV.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
When you're setting this up, you have to select the Wi-Fi network and everything else, right?
Yeah. Oh, I plugged it in Ethernet, but yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm kind of wondering what happens if you disconnect it from the internet. Will still work?
Well, it may work, but you may get an email from Tele asking you to plug it back in.
Well, I'm thinking just that could be a way to test what happens if Tele goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just turn into a nice 55-inch screen.
I'd be curious now about unplugging it and see how long it takes before it says. I'm wondering if it's a rolling thing where it says like, hey, we're not going to let you use this anymore if you don't plug it back into the internet. So I mean, the only thing I could think of is like, what is the qualification for, hey, the internet's down for a few days, but I have TV. If I had a TV tuner or something for this thing, right? Like,
or if your home internet's down but your cell phone's on and you're doing it via a hotspot on your phone type thing.
I would hope it would give you some time before it starts limiting you on something like that. And thankfully, I could unplug it without unplugging all of my TV services since it's all separate devices, right? Mm-hmm. So that could be an interesting experiment that I'll try sometime. that might be something fun to try over the holiday break. So, cool. Awesome. So, TeleTV, go sign that up. I have... Should I share my reference code? I don't know if I get anything from the reference code or not. Maybe it helps get people in quicker. But I do have a reference code for the refer a friend kind of situation. And I'm just going to kick that out to the... I'll kick that out to social media for those interested here this week. So, all right. Well, that has been our... And as somebody buzzes by outside, they've been so terrible with cars lately. I swear everything I've done in the last week is somebody vrooming by with no muffler on our street. So, anyways, now is time to check in with Chachi and the Video Game Minute.
Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. This week, we're going to spend the Video Game Minute remembering and celebrating the life of video game icon Rebecca Heinemann. Becky first emerged in gaming as the first ever recognized national gaming champion, winning the 1980 Space Invader tournament held by Atari. After that, she went on to be a self-taught programmer and designer, helping on such games as Wasteland and Wolfenstein 3D, and then later going on to co-found Interplay Entertainment, home of Baldur's Gate and Fallout. She spent her career working for or consulting for most of the major gaming companies. After coming out as transgender in 2003, she spent her time advocating for LGBTQ+ inclusion, accessibility, and diversity in tech, paving the way for other members of the community in the gaming industry. Rebecca Heinemann passed away on the 17th. That's all I have for you this week on the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time.
Katie has answered one of my questions. Thanks, Chachi, for that. And that's a good piece there. It's a good history. So, but you did share there was a bad guy in the She-Ra line that wasn't, well, she's technically the evil Horde. But I don't remember her being so frilly in the cartoon, but Catra from She-Ra.
Look at her.
Look at the hair.
Oh, the hair never. That's what it kind of ended up looking like over the years.
Yeah. I feel like it didn't last too well. So, yeah, definitely very hairy. Wait, did she seem? Wait, is she? I was like, why does she have a frilly dress? But is that just her hair?
Well, she has long black hair, and then she does have kind of a tail,
Oh,
like a fuzzy tail,
okay.
black cat
I
tail,
don't
and she has a
remember.
mask.
Yeah, that doesn't look anything like the cartoon, does it? Like hold on, Catra, She-Ra. Oh wait, well this is okay. There's the new one. There's it definitely doesn't look like the new one, but where's the one from the 1980s? No, there was no Scorpia. There was never a Scorpia figure, was there?
There was not.
No.
Oh wait, or was that? No, I don't remember.
No, I don't think it was on the He-Man side. So, and there was never a Shadow Weaver until more recently. Anyways, let's give a shout out to our friends on Patreon. We're getting distracted by our situation here. But thank everybody that does support us on Patreon, and including our friends, the executive producer level, Brian Crawford, as well as Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and Dave Potter. Thank you guys for supporting us. You get a little bit of extra content, the free stuff. And was this the week that... No, we don't really do ads on this. I actually did start. We started on Mayhem Show pulling the ads for you guys, so because we do have a little bit of ad block in the middle there. We decided to can. I think I did that. Was that a fever dream that I started that last week? Maybe I've been considering it. Breaking news, either way. So thank you everybody who supports us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It is Thanksgiving week, and we like to step back and look at what we're thankful for in awesomeness and tech for the year. And Katie, would you like to go first?
Yes, let's talk about one of our favorite things that we all enjoyed this year, which was our Hello Kitty Ninja Turtle crossover from McDonald's. I have never eaten so many Happy Meals. I think even as a child, I've never eaten this many.
We went through so many Happy Meals. We have so many of these. We still need to do our trade day.
Yes.
Because I got over here, this is all the duplicates. I got an entire Happy Meal box of duplicates. Dave got his over there. There you go. You got your Raphael. Oh, you got a couple.
Did we all
Raphaels.
pull out the Raphael?
We did. I think we did all Raphael. Yeah, I pulled out a different Raphael though, because I had this one. But I think I got that one over there too. Actually, no, I don't think I have that one.
Ooh, look at what I have. Do you have this guy?
No, I don't have that one. I only got these Raphaels.
Well, maybe I'll give you this guy before I leave. Ooh.
No, we got to have a good trade. It has to be a good, honest trade for it to happen. So we all gather, all of us with dupes, and enrich our collections. As we've already enriched McDonald's with all these Happy Meals. This is a lot of Happy Meals. Oh, man. No wonder I had a weight problem over the summer. Anyways,
yes, but that was a awesome thing, I think, that we all enjoyed a lot. And we don't usually get the cool Happy Meal toys in the US.
No, we don't. And I think something very special is happening because it seems like everything is doing crossover. Okay, I think it feels like everything is doing crossovers with everything, perhaps. But particularly, I feel like Hello Kitty is having a moment right now.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't there like a Hello Kitty Godzilla thing happening too?
That was a thing. What was that a thing? I don't remember.
But there's a lot of versions of this happening.
Yeah, because that collab, I was like, I love it.
So it's the most like. And I think I just saw something come out on my social media that was initially a drawing that was rejected. I don't know, in comics or something like that. So to see it come around is very cool. And again, it is everywhere. It's just one of those it's become so like Snoopy. Snoopy's everywhere, right? It's kind of become that kind of thing. When it lands in every Cracker Barrel, you know you've made it. I guess. So awesome. What else you got here?
Ooh, you want something else awesome for me?
No. You had a couple things listed on what you're thankful for.
My Cat Wars calendar. We had a lot of fun with the Cat Wars calendar. We did not talk about November, by the way. So you're getting next month. We'll do a November.
We're doing
December.
a double.
Yep, you're getting a double month.
Double finale. Okay.
But yes, we enjoyed our Cat Wars calendar this year, and I hope everybody else enjoyed it. If not, I'm sorry.
So we brought you a lot of joy this year in awesome things.
Cats and cats.
Dave, I don't have anything written down, but I wonder if you had an awesome thing, or sorry, something you were thankful for this year. I see you visually prepped for this.
Yes, I did. Yes. So one thing that the fact that, well, I'll say, in general, it's the ability for technology to connect people.
Okay.
You know, that's something I would just think about because pretty much it's the easiest way to get a hold of people a lot of times and connect long distances. And, you know, in terms of what technology allows for that, because there is some negative, believe it or not, about technology. But I think where it can grow communities, you know, and help grow communities where geography doesn't matter as much. I think that's still a big thing. That's still a big thing. In terms of a particular thing, technology, nothing honestly that just kind of pops in my head that really hit me one way or the other.
Yeah, and I think, you know, kind of going to your thing, like, I feel like this has always been when somebody's like, oh, social media is bad for us, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah, but look what it is doing. You know, I think we're having this debate when it comes to AI. Hey, look at all the stuff it can do, but also, look at all the stuff it can do, right? And we're having some interesting different opinions about to handle those things that we are kind of afraid of it's doing through policies and things that we're seeing from the companies. I feel like every day we hear something about, hey, this happened with this AI, and this is how they're handling it, and this is how these guys handle it much differently and are kind of letting things go. So that's going to be really interesting to watch over the next years or so as we're kind of contending with the backlash of what social media has done over the last decade or two, and then like looking forward to AI and say, okay, what are we not thinking about here? And of course, you're always going to have the people like kind of pushing it, especially the ones that stand to make a lot of money from it, regardless of its impacts. So other than it's impactful and we can make money off of it, so is kind of the thing, right? So I think that's going to be a really interesting look at that kind of thing. So, you know, regardless of the drawbacks, and there will always be drawbacks because human nature, somebody will look at a thing and say, oh, I can manipulate it this way, right? Even when it's the purest intentioned best thing for communication and connecting people, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. On that vein, I actually had a line that I had from Fishing Without Bait a few weeks ago. There was, we always have there was always the example in there of we always think of the bad things that happen, but don't think of the good. Like we don't say thank you every time our car actually does turn on when we turn the key is a big example that we go with out there. So it got me thinking about how, obviously we travel a whole lot, use technology in day to day, even to the point where you notice when there's a Cloudflare outage like there was recently, or AWS, both have happened in the last month, and you realize how dependent you are on this stuff. Tech is really great when it's all working. And I'm not saying oh no, it sucks when it's not, but yeah, we run into things. We run into things where, hey, there was a bad travel day because something didn't connect. Like when I was in the Greenville airport and I saw 3 different gates on 3 different screens of where I'm supposed to be. Thankfully, there's only 12 gates, but still, it's just one of those kind of maddening things, right? Like my app and your screens are all saying different things, even across your screens. So I just want to take a moment to appreciate when technology does work. When all the screens in the airport all work together to get you where you need to go. When your phone, when my Flighty app is giving me the information I need, and then the Uber comes, and then the tracking the app and getting an Amazon to a locker that I need for something the next day while I'm in the middle of Tucson, Arizona, let's say, right? Like, it's kind of impressive, this web of technology that's weaved kind of around us. And, I think a lot of us, especially on this show and listening to the show, probably are participating in that a lot, and again, not to get into the, okay, is Amazon a good thing or anything like that? Yes, it has some, again, something that's had negative effects, but man, does it make your life easier. Instacart makes my life easier and lets me go and think less about the little things so I can concentrate on the things that matter to me, right? And not just literally, I need to go walk around a grocery store for 2 hours. Some people need to do that. My buddy, I talk with him and that's an exercise, for him to get out, do that, and kind of needs that, and especially if you kind of work from home or something like that and don't see a lot of people, maybe you should get out into the grocery store if that's all the social that you get or something, right? Hypothetically. But no, just kind of like an appreciation for that. Like from that to the Airbnb and Verbos that we use, that's all like web-based. And just again, kind of thinking back to, I was watching some old movies and God, it was something from like the 2000s and realized, oh, right, they don't have smartphones yet. Oh, right, this is a big deal that they need to book a hotel or something. That's not an easy thing to do in that age. Just in the 2000s. That's crazy to me sometimes. We didn't have ubiquitous in our pocket all the time internet like we do now, right? And that was a promise when we first saw the iPhone. We're just like, oh, wait, I can just kind of go anywhere and this works? Not in the bubble that is my house and my workspace? Because it just really, you're just floating from internet bubble to internet bubble and existing in these bubbles. But now you can go for a walk and the thing is guiding me and letting me know to not go that way at Sutherland's Ridge in the middle of nowhere for the most part, right? So, or in the Emerald Trail when I invariably find a ledge up there on Mount Washington or something like that. So, and again, just kind of appreciate like we all pull it out, like, or then you see when it doesn't work. Like Katie and I have just been talking about how our Waze will just stop while you're, I don't know, out in Squirrel Hill in the middle of afternoon traffic trying to make your rounds, right?
Oakland on my way to Shady.
Yes. So little things like that. It's just like, we had that problem coming back from Niagara Falls. We were stuck somewhere and it wouldn't move. And because whatever's going on with the OS or something like that, we always get the sticky point whenever we get the OS upgrades, right? Where it's like, well, that's not working right now. So, but again, it is working more often than not. There's a lot of things that you touch every day that could break more, right? And I think that should be a little bit of gratitude that those do work as well as they do. So So let us know what you're thankful for out there. We got a hashtag AC759 for this episode, and we'll be keeping an eye out for that and share with that. Or if you catch us on the TikToks later with this clip or anything like that, we'd love to hear what you guys are thankful for with that. So we have a couple quick news items here. You guys want to talk about Olaf?
Yeah. He likes warm hugs.
He likes warm hugs. Katie, this is a takeoff, I believe, from earlier this year. I think it's earlier this year. Remember the droids?
Yes.
Were there two of them, I think? The little walkie droids, two-legged walkie droids that they were. I don't think we got a chance to see them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we saw them at Star Wars Night or anything.
No.
Right? So we haven't seen them in the wild yet. And we haven't gone to Disney like earlier this year, and that was it, right? So now, and I think this is rolling out actually in the foreign, like the European and maybe Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. But there is a walking animatronic Olaf from Frozen. He just comes out on two legs and says hello, and he's talking to you and everything. Let's see if they have the video on here. They do have a little bit of that. It is AI driven. For the responsiveness, I presume, and they just have him kind of strolling around. I'm sure he's going to have a handler just like Goofy does out there. So he's not going out there alone, and he's just kind of walking around. He goes and looks at people and talks to people, and you can remove his nose. I forgot about that. They just did it in the background there. And he kind of reacts to that whole situation too. So, and you wave at him, he waves you back with his little stick arm and everything. So this is very interesting because now you can have these characters like this, that are obviously very, they're robotics, right? And maybe somebody is kind of, and I do wonder, I haven't gotten too deep into it to see how much he is kind of performing on his own versus how much like there is like kind of a control interface that they have here that they're talking about. They didn't allude to it in the video I watched about this, about it, other than there's a little bit of AI kind of there. So the BDX droids were the previous free roaming robotic characters. But again, this is something that like, you're not putting somebody in a giant Olaf mascot suit. But you could like this could bring to life some other interesting characters, right? What I don't know, what do you guys think, like what's another character that you haven't seen that could benefit from the robotic, not human sized treatment like Olaf here?
Ratatouille. What's it?
The rats from Ratatouille?
Yeah. I just thought of that ride and I was like, maybe outside.
You hear they took away the 3D on that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is weird. I mean, great for Missy because she's not good with 3D. She's pretty good on the rides, I think, for the most part. So, but I always thought it was fun because it had a little element to things. But so you went like the rats?
Yeah, I like that idea. That's hilarious.
They're just little rats kind of running around. Like, well, how big are the rats? They're like this big. They're like 2 feet tall.
No,
like Smurf size.
Oh,
in the chef hat.
Yeah,
yes.
They have to be adorable. They can't just be regular rats. Ooh.
There you go. Also, like when it's moving, like up there on somebody's head, that could be fun. I always love the ones on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like everything else, like kind of is like whatever, but like the rat on the shoulder is always the big one for me, right? So, what a weird concept. I rewatched that since we did the ride in the last year, and what a wild concept. So he's like pulling his hair to like make him move, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's acting him like a marionette. And
they did a version of that with a raccoon in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Spoiler alert. So it was weird, very strange. What about you, Dave? Any characters come to your mind?
I can see the Inside Out emotions.
Because right now they're giant characters, right? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's always the sad one, just in the middle of a sidewalk being sad around the party that I always see on TikTok. Just saw one the other day. So,
but for stuff like that, especially when you have multiples, it could be the dwarfs in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, if you want, but because they're humanoid, but they're still cartoony enough. Mm-hmm. It's not like the features are all overdone, so you're not like trying to recreate a human face.
And they've done, and again, that's another one where they've done the full size mascots, like especially in the early days of Disneyland. So they were just giant dwarfs, more or less, which really kind of escapes the magic a little bit, I guess. So,
Stitch.
Oh,
Especially because we got a live action one that was an animatronic.
Yeah.
Why can't we let that loose?
Well, remember the one like driving around the car, which I think they did Zootopia ones now.
Oh,
Well, there's a bunch of Zootopia cars going around like with the premiere and stuff down in Hollywood. Let me see if I can do that real quick. So that's got to be like relatively similar, right? And and yeah, that little Stitch in the pink car was like at movie theaters and stuff, like all over the place, right? Car is animatronic. Let's do that. See if it pops up here. So exploring Zootopia's future. Yeah, there they are. I think this is them. Let me make sure real quick. This is a long video. There you go. There's the Zootopia cars that I was talking about. So, yeah, this is like down in Hollywood. I think they're just doing it for promotional stuff. And they're like crossing the street and stuff and causing traffic jams. They got the sloth in a red car. They got the van and everything. So, but of course, they're right across from right across from that theater down there. I forget which one it is. So.
Hilarious.
You get the idea. I don't know. I don't think they're as cool as the Stitch one though, because that one like really moved pretty good. So I love them kind of jumping into this idea though. The sloth is the best. The sloth is always the best. I've been getting all the commercials. They had the like be quiet in the theater stuff with Zootopia the last few months going into this. So, oh man. That and isn't that kind of the Disney magic being modernized a little bit too?
Yeah.
It's just like it's so fantastic to see the animatronics like in the Star Wars where they're moving, but they're still kind of not stuck in place. Like that one in Rise of the Resistance, or no, I'm thinking Smuggler's Run, moves pretty good. Like he's turning around and looking at us, and then goes over and looks at a screen and talks to Chewie, and it comes back and stuff like that. Like it's really impressive, and it kind of like messes with you that are like, oh, that's completely not a person, right? But now you got this kind of thing. I mean, obviously growing up into like, hey, we just make Boba Fett and he's an android, kind of thing feels like where we end up with this, for certain cases. But especially something if you have trouble casting it, So, but they do very good there. So, anyways, anything else to touch base on here that I missed? I've kind of lost my sheet. I'm neck deep in Disney videos right now. You had a Voltron thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something that I found, I believe, as a TikTok shop for the ad. And admittedly, it's a good amount of money.
$329 for the set.
But it does come with the 5 lions.
It is a full size. It's a full size. It's a nice sized Voltron.
Nice size. Yes.
And I presume
the lions transform.
Okay.
So you get the separate, they start, you can get them as lions, or you can do the transforming part to make Voltron.
I love the weapons from the lions are embedded in the base of this figure too.
And the weirdest thing is, I just happened across a Voltron thing, and I'm like, wait, it only was on for like a season? A season and a half?
You're talking about the original? You're talking about the original?
The original one from the 80s. Yeah.
We just had a similar thing. Katie, who's addicted to Tubi right now, I think I'm allowed to reveal that.
Yep.
You sent me a link for Max Headroom, and I didn't realize his 2 seasons were 8 and 6 episodes respectively, for as everywhere that it was. Because advertising Pepsi, who the hell knows, right? So then when they say a season, how many episodes was a season? Because
I forget what.
Because if you look at Ninja Turtles, the first season is like 60 some episodes. So, and stuff like that. Like they would, especially when you talk about syndicated cartoons, seasons get really muddy when you look back at them.
Okay, so I'm looking it up now. Now, here's the weird thing. You had the lion Voltron, and you had the vehicle Voltron. which were 2 separate Japanese cartoons.
Yes. Okay. Now we're getting to Secret Galaxy territory, and let them explain how this works. Basically, they adapted it here. Think about Transformers were whole other toys that they created a common narrative around. That's why some of them were very different from other ones sometimes. Go watch.
So it was, 124 episodes.
Okay.
Between I think the 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, between Series 1 and Series 2.
And there's been relaunches that they've tried over the years too. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Netflix one, whose I think is by the same people that did the She-Ra one. Remember, I pulled up Catra. That was very, very different. Voltron. Voltron was very, very good, and
the weird thing about Voltron, now the weird thing for younger people is Voltron was syndicated and it was on 5 days a week.
Right.
So even though the original Lion Voltron had 52 episodes, that literally ran from September of 84 through November of 84. So we're only talking a few months, really, of the original. Now, of course, it did reruns and then the Series 2, but pretty much it was within 1 year. And I just remember it was a bigger thing.
Yeah.
When it caught fire, it got huge.
I mean, it's a bigger thing when 50-some episodes you're waiting for day to day and can't watch them on demand. I mean, that feels bigger at the time, too. The Netflix series is by the people that did Avatar and Legend of Korra. So that pretty much speaks to that pedigree as well. So 8 seasons, 78 episodes, they're worth it if you have the opportunity to. So that's great. You know, we talked to, God, it was now 15 years ago now. We ended up talking with some of the people from Voltron that were handling it. At the time, they were coming out with a video game. It's well before, and you can't even get the Xbox game anymore because it was just on arcade, on digital. And good luck finding that anywhere that you can buy it. Oh man, you're bringing back memories here. I saw it sparingly because again, it was not on my TV, but it was on my grandparents' TV down here in Pittsburgh, and just loved it because of course I love Transformers. So Voltron's kind of like the easy thing. I think I have a couple of the lines and stuff, and a few of the figures. Things like that. So, or at least I feel like I had lions. I don't know. I at least had the action figures. So I had the people, but I didn't have the lions now that I think about it. So I think I had a Voltron non-transformable figure that was like, action figure side that could like fight the He-Mans, completely the scale, right? So anyways, very cool. Well, Dave, thanks for joining us and reminiscing about Voltron with us.
Oh, glad to be
I'm probably
here always.
I'm probably gonna end up deep diving on that a little bit. Katie, thank you for hanging out as well here in the studio, sharing your awesome things, and reminding me and shaming me on my misgivings about She-Ra figures.
Shame.
I was a boy. Okay, I was a boy in the 80s. I would have been shamed if I brought home a She-Ra figure, okay? So it was a different time for sure. Not to say I didn't want a She-Ra figure. Because it was weird having the Horde, but no She-Ra, right? Like, I went and saw the movie with She-Ra when she was introduced, but it was just like, but I don't know. Plus, they were gone so quick. I don't think they lasted too long on the shelves either. So, either way, hey, we're gonna on Patreon. I have a link to the worst movie theaters, and they're kind of hilarious. So I want to dive into that as a person that like specifically pays to go to the Dolby Theater myself. So I think it's really interesting, and I think I've been in one or two kind of like this. So. At other places. So anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a good holiday. We will be back for at least most of December. Of course, we like to take a couple weeks off around the holiday. We're probably going to be taking about 2 weeks off, I think, this year around those holidays. And we'll have our dates out there for the Christmas specials and everything. So you guys can go check those out and mark your calendars. And we like to try to get a couple extra people on the show to do our predictions and everything for the year so we can get all in that too. So guys, thank you so much. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.